So NBA Infinite Season 2 is coming out soon. So today we're gonna give you guys my top things I would like to see added or changed in the game. Alright, first and foremost, let's talk about the events. NBA Infinite needs to add way more events and increase the rewards. So you can see right now, the only event that was going on was the domination board. And this was for 6 weeks total. We do not need this to run for 6 weeks. Honestly, this should run for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks max. I was able to complete this in about a week or so. And the rewards were good, right? The rewards, 1,000 diamonds for, let's say, 2 weeks would have been incredible. But over 6 weeks is less than 200 a week. So it's definitely got to have some kind of change. You have to add more stuff. Speaking of events, whenever you get these extra logo things, you have to be able to trade it in for something, in my opinion. We'll see if it changes, because after the season ends, maybe they'll have something you can trade these in. But for now, they're just dead things in my inventory. I can't do anything. If I could just get some, gold, diamond, maybe even a chance to get packs, that would be great. Now let's keep talking about rewards. Honestly, I think there should be better rewards, because you can see, for example, this is the weekend jam. It's cool that you get about 100 diamonds over the weekend, but those infinite tickets, they're really not useful in my opinion. The best you can get is Paul George, but at this point, we need some more changes to these, even maybe better tickets. 3-game win streak is actually harder than it looks. A lot of people are playing rank, and yes, you could try to get those, but you know how it is. People be throwing games all the time. Why not give us a game changer ticket or even a star set? People would be happy. Gold is always good to have, but you know what? Maybe, just maybe, throw in some training manuals in there instead of some gold every once in a while. Granted, you can buy players to use as training manuals, so it's not really a biggest concern there. Speaking of free stuff, the daily logins I think is pretty good. Now the only thing I feel like we should change is one of the gold days you give training manuals. So in my opinion, Thursday would be a good day to have a training manual instead of 5,000. So that way you have 2 days of gold, 2 days of diamonds, and 2 days of training manual. And then you get Sunday, you get your free star-studded ticket. Granted, like I mentioned, gold is always good to get players, so you can always buy these players, but I'd much rather just get 2 training manuals rather than have to spend the time and effort to buy those players. But ultimately, daily logins maybe a little bit better. Let's talk about more CD key redeem. They actually need to add more CD key redeem. We had this one cool one in the beginning, which was 300 diamonds and 3 infinite tickets, which was fantastic. I don't understand why they're not doing more. It'd be great to do codes based on creators. So a dHitman code would give you 2 tickets, and it's not that much, right? 300 diamonds, you give that pretty easily. And a lot of games give a lot of codes. The best example I have now is the AFK Journey has a bunch of codes, and even creators have their own code. So that'd be something that'd be really, really cool. We definitely need more events, right? Better rewards, just to keep it going, and not as long events. This event here for 6 weeks is ridiculously long, and the rewards for the 6 weeks, it's not worth it. If you have long events, make sure to have, better rewards. Or if you have the same reward, just make it shorter. So if we keep talking about events, they actually did a phenomenal job when it comes to Star Trials as well as the Team Infinite. I don't have it here because I completed it. It was a great job. We actually had a lot of stuff to grind within the first month. That being said, a lot of people might think, oh, the season's too long, you might want to lower it. I don't think you need to lower it. Maybe if you do, maybe by 2 weeks. The reason is I actually just got the Hall of Fame, and it kind of took me the whole, 2 months? And I'm a content creator, so I actually play every other day. So for the regular average person, getting to Hall of Fame might not be as easy, so I get that point. I think the main thing they need to do is add more events and let this event not last as long, because let's be real, the Team Infinite, I finished it after a month. Even the Star Trial ones, I finished it after a month. So either make those longer by giving, instead of I think it was a 10-day login, why not make it longer, or create a second one. But again, we'll see with season 2 if they bring more events, because playoffs are coming in. And again, the game was released kind of right after All-Star break, so you can't really make as much content because you missed out on the whole rookie class, you missed out on so many stuff. But they did a great job with the events. I just think they need to add more events. Again, back to what the same points. All right, so speaking of long seasons, I do think the rank rewards need to be different or change. You can see you get some good rewards early on, right? It's actually really nice. But the one things I think they need to take out is these borders. I think the borders should be given out at the end of the season based on your ranking, rather than getting all these borders based on when you achieve it. And instead of getting these borders, getting diamonds or skill tickets or something like that along those lines, something that makes you oh, I hit star 5, I get more diamonds, or I get more tickets, right? I think getting maybe getting those tickets that you get for paying, I think it's specific player ones, that'd be huge, right? Getting 10 tickets just to get to for example, legend or Hall of Fame, right? Like these borders, in my opinion, should be given out at the end of the season rather than giving them out during the season, right? Speaking of the end of season ranking, I really hope that there's some kind of rewards to be given out, because as of now, we don't know if you get anything at the end of the season or the reset of the season. I'm hoping there's something cool you get. We'll see. I'm not sure, but that'd be cool if there was something to be given. Next up, let's talk about the MVP pass. Honestly, this is a great value in general. You actually get a lot of stuff, especially if you play, and it's for $10. I think you get like almost 10,000 diamonds and like 50 star studded tickets. So overall, it's already a good value, but there's a few changes that I think that would be very good if we added them in. More notably, I think adding some players would be very good. Just like unique players, that'd be really nice to have. So for example, like let's say like the theme of next season would be like, I don't know, like we'll just say that it was like Joel Embiid or something. Just add a Joel Embiid at the end, right? Like instead of this MVP ticket you can see at the end, just give us a player. That'd be cool. Or even give us two players, one at 50 and one at like, or a 75, somewhere along those lines, right? Like instead of giving us like a 500 diamonds, give us a player. A lot of people would be happier, and it will incentivize people to buy these, you know, so that way you can kind of buy them and sell them or try them out. So that's one thing I would like to see. I would also like to see, instead of having gold, some more training manuals. Granted, like I mentioned, you can either just buy a training manual with the gold, or I'm much rather just get the training manual, right? Just give me more training manuals. I think that's really good. But overall, the diamond value you get is pretty good. And I would like to switch it up for the tickets. Instead of just having 50 star studded, it'd be cool to have like, you know, 10 star studded and 10 game changers and 10 stars studded and 10 game changers. Stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. But overall, I like the stuff that you get, you know, the cosmetic. And speaking of cosmetic, I would like to have more cosmetic that are free. You know, the trial one were really nice, but I would like to be able to unlock like permanently if you play like a bunch of challenges, right? Like more challenges, more ways to grind into it. That'd be really good. And the missions are actually pretty good. I think you get so much stuff. I have no complaints about the missions. I have no complaint with the challenges. So you can see I've grinded it so much. I have almost 20k XP. So right there, something that needs to be changed for MVP Pass. And let's quickly go through the missions. I think there's like one small change I think that would make a lot of people happier. So missions daily is great. You can get the 100, which I don't really have a complaint with that. If they increase it, that'd be good. But the amount that you have, 100 a day, is still decent. Increasing it up to 200 a day would be a lot, but I think a lot of people would be happier. But again, I can understand why not raising it. But still, this is not the main concern for me. It's the rewards. You can see at level 40, that's when you get your free kind of player card, right? You can get a rare or an epic card. I would like to see more of these all through the levels, because you only get one, right? You only get one, and this goes up to like level 60. Why not give us three, right? Why not give us one at level 20, 40, and level 60? Right? I much rather have that than the 100 to 250 diamonds. It'll give a little more incentive so that players are getting more players rather than getting diamonds that they can spend. Honestly, it becomes up to the same price, right? Because you can either spend this to, you can spend what, 50 diamonds to get a player. I'd much rather get the player pack than diamond. Some people might disagree with me. Again, two sides of each coin. I would like to have maybe more of those players, but again, that's what I personally would like. And then maybe increase the odds of these, because I've never gotten anything over 120, right? I've never got anything over 120. But again, just a small complaint. So this next talk is more really for the people that are paying for the stuff. I honestly think they need to add more incentive for you to buy stuff in the game, so that people that are already buying, they're actually getting rewarded for it. I'm not saying pay to win, because this game, in quotation marks, gets pay to win. You can buy players, but some of the cheaper players can still do well. You can actually Pascal Siakam kind of dominate, and he's basically free to play and stuff like that. So they need to have stuff that you can actually get advantage of. So like right now, I don't have it because I bought it. There's like the first purchase bundle where you pay $9.99 and you get 3-day login. I think it should be like, if you pay, you get that for free, and it should be like events where you're like, oh, if you spend X amount, you'll get more diamonds and stuff like that. I think that'd be really good for the people that are spending already, and that incentivize some people to spend. That's again some quality of life thing. And speaking of that, if you talk about the IC, there should be bonuses based on higher spending, and then almost every game that has in-game currency, you get more the more you spend. If you look at this, the 500 is $6.99. If you look at the 5,000, it's $69.99. It's literally the same price times 10. So why would I even bother spending extra if I just buy what I just need? If you want to get people to spend a little bit more, you give them the incentive, like, oh, instead of getting 5,000, you give them 6,000, right? Give them a first purchase bonus when it comes up, like, oh, okay, buy for the first time, get double the, the IC. They're like, oh my God, I can actually buy a little bit more. That right there would be huge for not just the whales, but the dolphins, the people that just want to spend a little bit of money, because they'll be incentivized for people to buy that. And that can also help the sales. So I think that would be something that'd be huge to add. And I don't know if they're going to add it, but it'd be really good, especially since I like to spend money sometimes. All right, next up, let's talk about the most demanded thing is the hoop draft. Now, for me, the most important change I would like to see is that right here, the limited time epic players, you should be allowed to buy them for diamonds, or some of them with diamond. And you know what? I don't mind if they double the price. So for example, here, instead of 500 IC, 100 diamonds, right? Double the price. That still gives the option to people to buy it, and you can limit it, right? If you want, be like limit 30. It still gives the option for people to buy it, so that whenever we hype out a player, so for example, when Wemby came out, we were so hyped. Everybody was hyped. Oh my God, Wemby. They were hyping it up so much. But no one can buy it unless you're buying a game changer pack. Granted, it was with Anthony Davis, so, you know, kind of, you can buy the Anthony Davis and getting stuff like that. So honestly, that's my biggest thing here. Make this available to free-to-play players. And I'm not even free-to-play player, but I would like to spend diamonds on these, right? I'm just collecting my game changer packs right now. That's all I'm doing right now, collecting my star-studded packs. Speaking of star-studded, as well as Team Infinite, this says here it's going to last forever. I would hope that this gets replaced with whatever new event comes out. So if there's a new event, instead of having Team Infinite, we get the new sets or rotation of players. That would be great if we have a new rotation of players. I would love to see that. I don't know how realistic that is. I know Team Infinite is, I don't know how long that's going to be going for. I don't even see it anymore in my thing. So like to change that. Same thing for star-studded pool. Would like to be changed rather than have Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, and Damian Lillard. Having this change would be fantastic for the game. And people can buy this right here for diamonds. So having a change of pool every month, right, would be great. Just have different players. And, you know, not every player here is amazing, right? So having a change of these would be fantastic. And speaking of that, we definitely need to have more players added into the game, right? We've added one new player since the game came out, Victor Wembanyama, but he was already in the foul. I've seen some leaks out there of players, so we'll see. We'll see, but we definitely need new players, right? We need a rotation of players into the Star Set and Team Infinite, and we need to have this more accessible to free-to-play players. So the main thing, I want to be able to have more consistent shooting, right? I don't know how they're going to fix it because this is a live 3-on-3. Like if I'm wide open, right, maybe add like a slight sliver that makes it automatic green, so it's like a higher skill gap. But again, like, I don't know how you can fix this, right? Like, having a Trae Young miss a wide open 3 after doing your move that gives you a 12% boost is probably the most frustrating thing in the game, right? So having some more consistency, or even having different levels of explanation on how, like, you know, like contested stuff like that, right? It's just frustrating when someone hits a contested shot on you and then you miss wide opens, right? There's got to be more consistency in the gameplay. But overall, the gameplay is pretty good. The passing is really fun. The dunking is really nice. I think maybe a small thing to be changed is like, what is a moderate? What's a lightly contested? What is like a heavily contested? It's not very clear because two different players might have two different things. And I get it, you know, was it brick wall baller affects that. But sometimes you get a lightly contested and the guy's right in front of you, or like I had two players underneath of James Harden, considered moderate, and then he hit it. Very tilting, honestly, very tilting. And to add on more onto the gameplay, in the training room, I wish there was an option to kind of practice versus a bot, because if I hit a free practice right here, there's nobody, right? So I can't even do a post move I want to practice or stuff like that. I know, yes, you can technically do a 1v1 against bots, but it's not the same because you kind of have a time limit, a point limit, so on and so forth. Just having a bot here to practice like a post move here, anything like that, just like a regular practice. So I personally love practicing my craft. That's how I learned all these like spin moves and stuff like that. Like I practice it, but having a player there able to practice with you, especially for like alley-oops, if I can have a player throw me an alley-oop, like a bot or something like that, that'd be great. And then, you know, a lot of people would be able to learn from that. Again, this is a personal thing. The next few things are really quick things I want to mention. Prime collection, I would like for this to actually be a lucky draw. Apparently it's not, it's predetermined. So I would like for this to actually have a small chance I'll get a Curry, because yes, you can open these for free, usually one draw, but having at least a small odds to get it would be fantastic, because then you'll see more people pulling Curries, getting excited to get a Curry for free. I just not a huge fan of this. I would much rather have, you know, just a slight chance, right, to get random stuff, just like in other games where it's actually like a lucky draw rather than just a you know, predetermined odds. And then for clubs, just a quick thing, maybe like an event where you're like playing with club members or club against clubs. That'd be kind of cool. Just give a small event you're playing. Right now, the really own reason to get clubs is offer trials. So the next thing is another quality of life thing. I would like to be able to lower the brightness or the, I guess, the opacity of the buttons in the UI. You know, I'll be playing sometimes, especially on the phone, and I won't be able to see the right side of my screen because of all my buttons being there. If I can lower like how, I guess, visible they are, I want to make them more invisible so that I can see the field. That would be great. Again, another quality of life thing. I would also like to be able to sync these buttons per thing, because right now if I want to like move these, I have to go like one at a time. So to be able to sync them based on how the other buttons are, that'd be kind of cool, right? That'd be really nice. That's just another quality of life thing. So yeah, the last thing I want to talk about is the marketplace. I think the system is good, but I would like to lower, for example, the auction fee. 15% in my opinion is too much. I think lowering to 10% would be a good balance. I feel like a lot of games, when they had an auction house, it was a 10% fee. Speaking of fee, also the skill manual fee, I think 20% is way too high. Having it 10% for both of them would be great because it's like a double whammy. You're losing out on your skill manual and you're losing out on your gold. You're losing double on the gold because skill manuals are basically a lot of times for players, so you're losing out on that. I think having the same amount, right? Like 20% is way too high, but 15% as well is way too high. And then I would also like for, you know, the sale price to be more flexible, right? Like you can see right here, like Joel Embiid, if I want to buy him, $890, right? It's not a big problem, right? But if I want to sell him for higher, I wish I could sell him for higher. And on the other way, I want to sell for cheaper, right? Like they've been lowering it, which is good. It seems to be a little more flexible, but like Julius Randle at 138, I think there's like 58% of people at 136. So you'll be lucky if you can sell one, but just a little more flexibility would make this very fun. Anyway, those are all the changes I would like to see next season. I don't know how many of these will be implemented. It'd be cool if 1 or 2 of these would be implemented. If not, I'm praying that there's going to be some crazy stuff coming into season 2, because the lack of content makes it very tough for people to want to play a game. So we'll see how that goes. If there's anything you guys would like to be added into next season, let it know in the comments down below. You know, I'll definitely relay this because there's definitely a lot of things that can change in the game, but ultimately the core of the game, the gameplay, is really good despite the few changes that needs to be done. But overall, the game is very fun to play, meaning that the content can be added in the future. At least the gameplay is good. So let me know in the comments down below what needs to be changed. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.